Hey guys, it's Amber, coming back, and at the request of one of my coworkers as well as my friend, I'm going to give you guys a tutorial on easy ways to apply your eye makeup as far as like blending goes, and just something quick and easy that you can do for getting ready for work, or quick girls day out, or things like that. The palette that I'm going to be using today, and I'm not going to put foundation on and all that good stuff because we're going to more so concentrate on the eyes today. The palette that I'm going to use is the Tartelette in Bloom. It's the Tartelette #2, I think is what they come out with in the store. But this is the colors that are associated with the Tartelette in Bloom palette. And I really enjoy the colors. They're neutral, they're easy to work with, they blend really well. So if you have a Tarte eyeshadow palette, especially to start out with, it's usually pretty cool. Okay, so I mentioned in other videos that I don't necessarily prime my eyes before I do my eye makeup. This is just because I find that when I prime my eyes with, something like this, the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, I do have one, but I'm not impressed. Like, I've noticed that for my particular eyelids, the formula causes things to drag and they don't blend very well, and that's a really big issue for me. So I tend to not use those, but what I do is I take a big fluffy brush like this. Once again, my Morphe brushes are not numbered, so this is just a big, gigantic Morphe brush, and I take the lightest color in here, which is right here. It's called Charmer, and I kind of dip into that, and I put it all along the lid all the way up to the brow bone. Now, normally I have foundation on too, so this may look a little different when I do that. But I just kind of take it. And what that does is that mattifies that area so that the colors will stick. They will look really good, but, they just stick. So then I use the color Flower Child. I kind of go over that, which is this color right here, which it's showing up a lot lighter on camera. This is Flower Child right here. I'm going to take it and just put it like literally where my lids are. Kind of give it a little bit of dimension. You don't have to be very precise with this step because, these are just your base colors. So you take it and you just want to put it right there where your lid is. And I've got some weird thing going on with my eye today. I don't know what it is that showed up when I was taking my makeup off today. I think maybe I just irritated it with whatever eye remover that I was using, eye makeup remover that I was using. So you do that, and then you're going to take a fluffy brush. It doesn't have to be a really big one, but you're going to take a dome-shaped fluffy brush like this, and you're going to dip into a deeper, this will be your transition shade. You want to start with a shade called the transition shade that you're going to put on your eye. Now, for everybody, your eyes are shaped differently, but your transition shade is meant to go slightly above. This is your crease right here where your eyelid folds. You want to put it slightly above that because that's going to be the color that shows up. And then you're going to have a color that deepens your crease, and then you're going to have the eyelid color, or depending on what look you're going for. But the transition shade goes slightly above. Now, I've said this before, because I have deep set eyes, I have to put it, kind of quite a bit above. But you want to choose a color. I know in my last video, I used this soft, what was it? The soft brown. I think it was the soft brown from this palette. You want to use something like a soft brown, or maybe a light orange, or you can pretty much use anything light for your transition shade. I've seen some people use like light tone, peachy tones, or pink tones, things like that for transition shade. But with this particular palette, I like to use what's called Jet Setter. It's right here. These two colors are really, really similar, so I don't tend to use this for a transition shade, especially if I've just set my eyes with that, which really you can't even tell that I have anything on just because that's how it's meant to be. But I will use Jet Setter, which is just a tiny bit deeper than these two shades here. So I'm going to dip into that. And on this fluffy brush, you want to tap off the excess. You don't have to, but that was kind of a lot of kick up. But you're going to take your brush towards the end, and you're going to find your crease, which you're going to look straight ahead, or you can look straight into the mirror, which I'm looking into a mirror right now. And you go right above where your crease is, and you're just going to make small windshield wiper motions like this. And you can do like small circular motions as well, because this kind of helps to blend that out as well. And you don't have to worry about it being just real precise right now, because you're going to take a bigger fluffy brush here in just a moment once you do your other eye. And you can really just kind of go in there and blend those out. You don't want any super defined points in your eye, especially on your transition shade, because this is supposed to just be something that your color kind of blends into. So I'm going to take that color again, and I'm going to do the same for the second eye. Oh, sorry. I'm going to do this for the other eye. I'm going to find my crease and go slightly above it. I'm going to start out with windshield wiper motions, just real gentle. Like I said, the looser you hold your brush, the easier it is to blend, because the color, you're touching it with a very light hand, so it's not distributing all in one particular even area. So see, I'm going to do the circular motions here, and I'm going to go around, and I'm going to do those again, go around. You just keep going back and forth like that. until you have kind of a really even coat. Now this looks crazy, so I apologize. But then you're going to take a clean fluffy brush, which I think these two are the same brush. This one just tends to be a little bit fluffier, and you can take that on the outside edges and just kind of roll it around in small circular motions. Small circular motions just on the outside edge, so then it kind of blows it out a little bit so it's not as easily defined. Like this. And like I said, don't be afraid to use your fingers. If you need to use your fingers because you're looking to, you know, clean up a specific area, you can definitely do that as well. Okay, so we have the transition shade together, which kind of looks crazy on camera right now, but I promise you it'll come together. Okay, so the next step is you want to choose something to deepen your crease. This is going to be a much darker color. This can tend to be more of a deeper brown or more of a deeper orangey shade. You know, when you get these eyeshadow quads, you'll notice, like with this one that's got the soft brown, this would be the transition shade, this would be the crease deepening shade, this one would go on the outer corner, and this one would go in the main part of the lid. You can just kind of see, and here's another eyeshadow quad. This would be your all over color. This could work as a transition shade, this one could deepen, and then this one could be your lid. I mean, you know, you can just kind of use it as you want to. So on this palette, I'm going to actually take this color right here, which is much deeper than these other neutral colors here. I mean, you can tell which ones I've used the most. But I'm going to take this color right here, which is called Rebel, and I'm going to use it to deepen my crease. And what I do for this one is you're going to use a smaller, which this one's stained, but I'm going to use a smaller dome brush, and I'm going to dip into that pan just like that. Just tap, tap, tap off the excess. For this one, you're going to find your crease, which I'm trying to look in the camera, or here. You're going to find your crease, which is right here, and you're going to kind of close your eyes and lift your eyebrows a little bit, and you're going to go right into that crease. And for this one, you can just do the windshield wiper motions. You don't necessarily need to do the small circular motions. So you just do like this, and you kind of go back and forth like that. Like I said, you can go back in with that big fluffy brush, the blending brush, and you can fix whatever you need to fix. But we're going to go into the crease with this one. Deepen it up just a little bit. And you can actually pull it down a little bit so that it's, you know, in your actual eyebrow, or in your actual eyelid too, because you're going to cover all that up. So take it like that. Then you can take your blending brush and just kind of go over it in small windshield wiper motions like that. And if ever you feel like, oh, okay, I put this color on, now I can't really see my transition shade, which this looks crazy. I don't know why it looks like that on camera. If you ever feel like, oh, well, now that I've done that, I can't see my transition shade, you can always take your other blending brush, dip back into that transition shade, and just kind of pick it back up and go back up. And you can, you know, put it all the way up to your eyebrows if you really want to, because there's no real rules with this. But you can take your transition shade. This looks super patchy on camera. I hate that. It does not look this patchy in person, I promise. Okay. I look like I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. So then you want a color that can deepen your outer corner because it draws the attention to your eyes. So for this one, I'm going to be using Leader, which is over here in the corner. And you can use a couple of different brushes for this. I personally like to use the same brush that I used to deepen my crease. I clean that off, which you can use a paper towel. You can use an actual towel. You can use the Color Switch little donut thing that they create. Anything that you can use to get all that excess off. You tap, tap, tap your brush in there, tapping off the excess. And then you're going to go kind of quarter of the way in. And you can just begin to build that up however dark you like to do it. You're just going to go back and forth like this until your line's kind of blurred. And anything that you mess up, you can actually go back and fix. So just because you do it, oh, it's way out of the line, you can go back and fix it later. So I'm going to do this on the other eye. Okay, so we've got our outer corners. I don't know why this is looking like this. Maybe because I don't have makeup on anywhere else. It's just my eyes. Maybe that's what it is. Normally at this point, what I would do is that color that we use to darken the outer corner, I would take with a small pencil brush like this, and I would dip into this, and I would also do the under eye. But because I have this thing going on here, I'm not going to do that. But you'll take a small pencil brush, and you'll kind of run it along the lower lash line. And you can take your blending brush and really kind of, your fluffy brush, and just blow that out. If you want more defined under eye color, then you'll do, you know, thicker color. If not, then just a little bit and just kind of blow it out a little bit. But I'm not going to do that because my eye's irritated, obviously. So what you do from here is you're going to want to pick a color that is really nice. I've got a couple of colors here that I can use. I like to use Funny Girl, and I also like to use Firecracker. I'm going to use Funny Girl because it tends to pick up better on camera. You can do it a couple of different ways. You're going to want to take a packing brush, which is like just the little, this is a IBY Beauty packing brush. This one's kind of like a flat, this looks more like an actual paintbrush. You're going to take it, and you can do this a couple of different ways. I usually like to outline what I'm doing first. So you're going to dip into it with like little strokes like this. You're going to pick it up on your brush. You don't tap it because you're going to want to get as much pigment on there as you possibly can. And then you're going to run it over your lid like this, just in that area from your lashes all the way up to where you did that deepening color. So you're going to stop about right here because that's where it's going to go. And you can, put it all over your lid. You can put it over that deepened part because you can go back and deepen it later. But you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So I put some on my brush, and I'm going to sweep it over my eyelid. And you can do it this way too. You don't necessarily have to sweep it like that. You can pack it on just like this. But you're going to want to stay in those lines there. And you can take the color that you were, the brush that you were using to deepen your crease, and you can kind of go back and forth over the top of it. That way it kind of blends the two together more, like this. Now for the fun part. If you have setting spray, whether it be Hard Candy, Mario Badescu, Morphe, MAC Fix Plus, or any setting spray that you have will do this. I just prefer to use the MAC Fix Plus because I have it, I bought it, I need to use it. So what you're going to do, I prefer to dip the brush into the actual color that I'm going to want to use first. Get a pretty significant amount. Sorry, I have a alarm. Get a pretty significant amount on the brush, and then you're going to take it and you're going to spray it like that. Get it wet. You see what it looks like now, right? So you're going to take it once it's damp, and you're going to pack it like so. For this step, you are just going to want to tap it on the lid. You're not really going to want to drag it. And you just tap, tap, tap. I don't usually, when I'm intensifying it, I don't usually take it all the way over just because I've already put that color there. Now you see I've gotten kind of out of the line with it, but you see the difference here. This is way more defined than this side. So how I fix that is I take that brush again that we were doing to deepen the crease. I tap back into that Rebel color, and I'll just run it over real quick. Back over that. And I'll clean it off here real quick, and then I will tap into that dark shade over here, the leader, and I will just kind of go back over that there. Then I can take a fluffy brush, and I can kind of go back and forth and blend it. That way it looks all nice and cohesive. See? And then I'm going to do the same. The brush is already damp, so I'm going to kind of dip into this like this, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to pat it in like this. This one I didn't really get out of the lines on too bad, but I'm going to do that same thing. Take this brush, dip it back in here, kind of go over just so slightly, clean it off, go into the side, then I'm going to darken, go back over there and darken it, fluffy brush, and back over that to blend it. Okay, so I seriously don't know why it's looking super patchy, because it's really not. In person it's not, I don't know. Okay, so this is what it looks like. For those of you who know that I know what I'm doing, it normally doesn't look so patchy. So then I do my eyeliner, which I'm going to kind of sort of do my eyeliner because I'm sure you know how to do it. How you like to do your eyeliner, ham it up. If you like to put it on the bottom line, by all means, put it on the bottom line. I personally don't, but it looks good on other people. Okay. I think I like this pencil so much because I don't really have to be so precise, because this part I just don't enjoy doing. Okay, so I did that. I'm going to take the liquid liner, the Fierce Licks that I've used before. I'm going to darken this up. I don't really have to do too much to it because I've already lined. I'm just kind of going and making sure that the line is defined and that there's no gap between the line and my eyelashes. I go along the bottom there. And I go in both directions. Some people say, don't do that, don't do that. You can do that if you want. Okay, and then you take the mascara, which I'm not going to put it on my bottom lashes again because I have that spot. But then you take your mascara and you finish it off, which I'm covering my mouth, but that's okay. So you take your mascara. And I don't know how other people put on their mascara, but I like using this way. I get as close to the lash root as I can. I blink and I just pull it up. I kind of wiggle when I need to separate, but I pull it up because I find you get a thicker application with that. I can do a second layer if you need to. And I kind of roll it when I pull it up so that I'm getting like an even coat on there. That's what that looks like. Again, guys, I swear this looks more blended in person. I don't know. Okay, you can take a small flat brush like this one, which is a Morphe brush. You can dip into whatever highlighter you're using that day. I like to do that instead of using like a super bright blonde or white eyeliner or eyeshadow. Dip into that and you define your brow bone, which for me, my brow bone is really prominent anyway, so I don't have a problem figuring out where I need to put it, but you're going to put it on the outer portion, kind of right where your eyebrow arches. You're going to put it right there, and you can just kind of blend it in. That way it's defined. And then, of course, you're going to do your eyebrows, which this is the IT Brow Power product that I really like to use. So you would do your eyebrows as you normally would. Now, at this point, I've already got my foundation on because I hate doing my eyes first. I got my foundation on. I got all my stuff on. And my eyebrows are pretty much next to last that I do. And I've already put setting powder once. Or I keep saying setting powder. Setting spray. I've already used it once at this point. So, you're going to define your brow. Move on to the next. Okay, and then you're going to take the spoolie part. You're going to spool it up, spool it over, spool it up, spool it over. You can take your finger, kind of blend that in if you need to. But there's the finished product for your eyes. You can do this daily, and then of course you want to use setting powder again to set it all in place once your makeup is done. So there is your super easy 25-minute tutorial on how to do a simple eye look and blend. Thanks guys for watching.